My name is Jimmy.
What's up, everyone? Jimmy here, and I'm here with like one of the last bit of thoughts on E3 related stuff. I'm gonna be talking about the Sony press conference. Now, when it comes to them, it was like it's always the conference I look forward to the most because I'm mainly a PlayStation person, And that's just my personal preference. Just like someone could be a Nintendo person, or someone is only into Xbox related stuff. It's nothing personal, but they kicked it off, doing different on how they presented, which I thought was kind of cool and an interesting change up. But they started with showing us big with The Last of Us Part 2. New, new game, first time actually seeing gameplay of it, which I thought that was nice, and it's definitely one of the exclusive games I'm really looking forward to in the future. I mean, it's been a while since its initial announcement, and we've been wanting to see gameplay, so with this, we finally did. And after that, they went and announced a new game called Ghost of Tsushima, which actually I kind of went in a little bit of a discussion with a friend in regards to this game. I would definitely say this is personally my favorite announcement from the Sony press conference. I would definitely say that. And I agree with my friend when he says that it reminds him of the Batman Arkham games. With how you have the choice of being stealthy in order to take down enemies. Which, at the same time, I say that's multiple games that actually do that sort of stuff. So it's kind of interesting, and this is like an open world samurai kind of game, which it's definitely up my alley. I mean, it's open world. It probably have RPG elements to it, if it's not a straight up RPG. And being the fact that it's a samurai based game, so I'd definitely say this is my favorite game from the press conference of Sony's. Now, after that, we got to see a trailer for Resident Evil 2 Remake, which at first I'm watching it, I'm like, what the hell game is this? And when I was seeing zombies, I was like, oh my gosh, Overkill's The Walking Dead. And then we saw Leon, a younger Leon. So, I mean, I really wasn't expecting this to be Resident Evil 2 Remake. For the fact that the earliest game I have played is probably 4, and it's been so many years that I have no memory of it at all. Like, I didn't even play but like one time. And this was like before I really got into being able to play games at a more experienced level, But I know this is definitely a game that people have been wanting for a while, and I'm looking forward to it too. I think it's awesome that Capcom remakes these games. Maybe we could see Beautiful Joe get some remasters. Come on, Beautiful Joe. I mean, you brought back you do Resident Evil, you freaking bring him back. Devil May Cry, bring back Beautiful Joe, man. Come on. And then after that, they showed us another trailer because we haven't seen enough of Kingdom Hearts 3, but this one shows us the confirmation of a new world. Not new, but we're going back to Port Royal. Back to the Pirates of the Caribbean, which I thought that was awesome because when I was always debating on doing like maybe a prediction video on worlds that could potentially make a return in Kingdom Hearts 3, Port Royal was one of them I wanted to see, to kind of, move beyond Curse of the Black Pearl. Because, this game might just be straight up at World's End, as we see in the gameplay, or it might just start up at Dead Man's Chest and then go into At World's End. But who knows? I think either way, I would be perfectly fine. And plus, we got to see another organization member, and that was Luxord. I'm not sure if I'm properly pronouncing it right, but we got to see him, which, you know, the last time we saw him, the first time we saw him was in Port Royal. So that was awesome to see. Hope we got to see more Death Stranding, and more saying, what the fuck? I mean, seriously, we get more confusion than questions answered. And that's not even exaggerating. Anyone who's kept up with this game would actually agree. But still, I want to hear more what the fuck. Like maybe eventually kind of give us a sense of what the game is about instead of confusing us more, you know. But, you know, again, another game I'm really looking forward to when it does come out. And also, announcement of a new game, actually a sequel, Neo 2, which I really wasn't expecting this to get announced. I never actually played the full game, but I did play the alpha, and I'm not really 100% down with that whole concept of you die, you start over. But with Neo, it actually caught my interest more just because of the fact of samurai. And, you know, I got the sense of how you should play those games, you know. Saving up your stamina, not trying to freaking thinking you're better than you actually are. You know, like just continuously striking, and then you have no stamina to dodge, and then you die. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more news about Neo 2. And, of course, we need more Spider-Man before it does release later this year. We got to see 2 bits of gameplay, one during the conference and one just today. And we got to see a handful of villains that are going to be coming in the game. We saw Electro, Rhino, Scorpion, Vulture, and in the second gameplay, Shocker. So, yeah, that's almost like a Sinister Six thing going on right there. I'm not 100% sure if Mr. Negative has ever been, or Mr. Negative Man, I freaking but I don't know if he's ever been a Sinister Six member. Because I know there are more than just 6 initial people. I mean, Craven has been one. I believe even Venom has been one in the comics, that is. But we also see pretty much almost like a confirmation that Negative Man, Mr. Negative, whatever his name is not the main villain of the game, but it seems like he works for someone. So at this point, we can go into speculating. And I have to say, looking at the gameplay, the web, swinging from the webs, it seems natural, just like what people love about the Spider-Man 2 video game. And I'm just kind of curious how much of a variety of web types are we going to see, aside from what we've seen from these gameplay demos. Like, are we going to see slingshot? Are we going to see like web gloves, like we've seen in Spider-Man back on the PS1? But really excited for this game. It looks like what these people of Insomniac has done is give Spider-Man the love. And hopefully we could see this continue onwards. And, it seems like Marvel is getting more games as time goes on. Having a variety, instead of just milking one person. And then there towards the end, there was also a VR game announced that actually caught my eye. And it's actually by Josh Roiland from Rick and Morty, which it's called Trover Saves the Universe, which it's supposed to be like a platformer. And, you know, this trailer that they showed off gives me the vibe of Rick and Morty. But even though I don't have, like, the stuff for VR, I would definitely love to see other people play it. Like, one of those points where I'm like, I'm interested, but I have no plans of actually getting the game. But that is overall my thoughts. I said I was going to try to ramble on, but I ended up doing it anyway. But overall, I would say this conference is definitely, in my personal opinion, number one. Number two, I guess I would give it to Microsoft, just because of the franchise, the sequel announcements from Dying Light 2, and there was Devil May Cry 5. And number three, I guess I would have to give that to Bethesda. And I said Ubisoft. I was given that the the bottom of the best. So Ubisoft is number four. Number five, I don't know. When it comes to second to last, it's kind of like a tie between Nintendo and Square, just because it seemed like Nintendo lost a signal. They only really talked about 2 games, and then when, I guess, when they came back up, it was just, you know, what we see even afterwards on these conferences. You know, hearing about games that were technically already talked about. Some of them we actually see on screen. So I guess second to last will be a tie between Nintendo and Square. And last place, of course, EA, obviously. But those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about E3 in general, as well as what things from the Sony press conference did you like in general. And you can also check out my other sort of thoughts and let me know your opinions about them as well. And my name's Jimmy. Until the next one, bye.